Well, we want to focus now on a local charity serving first responders, military, and veteran communities.
Yes, and joining us from Back the Heroes Rumble is co-founder and executive director Carl Whalen, and also your wife is a co-founder as well. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having us. And my wife wanted to be here, but we have a little bundle of joy at home that's 2.5, and he's a bit rambunctious.
That's the priority.
I'm sure they are watching right now. Yes. Well, can you talk to us a little bit about your mission and really how you got started with this? It was your wife's idea, right?
Yes, it was her idea. We originally started as Back the Blue Rumble, and before we started it, we actually put on a car show for a fallen officer. We're very successful, raised thousands of dollars for his family. And then we decided we wanted to continue our mission, mainly because, as my wife noted, during that same time that officer was slain, there were many other officers that were, and during the same media cycles, they weren't getting as much coverage. The family wasn't getting a huge support like the other one was, and we figured every fallen hero deserves to be remembered, and their families deserve the support because they've all sacrificed. And we kind of spun it to where the premise wasn't just for officers. We wanted to honor firefighters, military, and also thank the veteran community for their sacrifices as well. And that's evolved where our car show has grown over the last 5 years. We've done it. This is our 5th year. We intend on honoring 2 fallen firefighters we've yet to announce because we got to get the family's blessings before we move forward. That's how we practice. Once my wife, Andrea, has reached out as the honorary contact liaison, we arrange for those families to be there at the event, treated as VIP guests, put in a hotel room the night before, we feed them dinner, and then the show is all about them and their loved one. And all proceeds raised goes to their families.
Such an important mission, and we appreciate all of the work that you're doing. What type of programs do you offer? I'm sure people are interested in that too.
So the car show is Operation Never Forget. That's our program where we honor the fallen and remember the families' sacrifices they've made. But we also will focus on providing life-saving equipment to first responders. So we figured instead of just honoring the fallen, it would be even better to do something about it. With the world that's so set on tearing itself apart, we should do some more to try to bring it back together.
Absolutely.
And that is our way for our community and for many of our sponsors, our ambassadors, who can go on our website today and support our efforts directly. We are all a 100% volunteer charity, not a dime goes to our pockets.
Wow, so you're in need of volunteers, I'm sure then.
Always, always. We have several companies that reach out every year, thankfully, interested in sponsoring as well as sending volunteers to help us. I will remark that General Electric Credit Union did send volunteers out with their CARES team, and they've been very supportive from the very beginning. That is 2011, or 2021, excuse me, where we had honored 2 fallen officers, and then they just showed another picture of last year's show. Our volunteers are the main reason those shows were even successful. And everybody shows out and is very supportive and loving for these families, and it means the world to us and them.
And what is the impact, Carl, that you hope to make with what you're doing here? I'm sure it's far and wide because the mission is broad.
The mission, our main directive is to make a difference in the world. How little or big is dependent on how much funding we have supporting our efforts. I will say that we've supported 23 different police and fire departments since our inception of the program Operation Open Arms, where we provide life-saving equipment needs. And we've done that to the tune of almost $34,000. And up to this point, over $30,000 for fallen families. And we'd love to continue to grow upon that. And our main objective is to make sure that no family ever feels like they have to grieve the loss of a loved one alone, and that their loved one, when they put on that uniform every day, they know that we've got their 6.
Yeah, and grief can be such an overwhelming thing. So it's really good to know that those families are supported. And I also love too that you're saying that you're doing things proactively as well to support those departments in the work that they're going out and doing. So we talked about, you got a car show, there's all kinds of events that you do throughout the year. Can you just give us an overview of those?
So along with the car show, which is always the first Saturday of August, and the rain date's the day following, we have our golf outing, which weather and COVID both seem to impact us every year. Well, this year it looks like we're going to have a really successful opportunity to make that happen. And it takes place at the Elks Run Golf Course on June 9th. It's a Friday. And we're still looking for sponsors. We're 6 months ahead of the show, so if you guys want to come out and support, there's going to be big prizes up for grabs too through some of our sponsors, including a $100,000 shot. Chance for people to make a
Wow.
165-yard shot
big.
for $100,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful.
and you know, it's because of, again, our sponsors, we are able to do this.
Yeah. So
And
if people want to, you mentioned volunteers. If they want to volunteer, how can they do so?
so you can actually go to our website, backtheheroesrumble.com, not just for sponsorship, but also if you want to volunteer, you click on How to Help at the top menu bar, and you'll be able to sign up and notify us that you want to be a volunteer, and then one of our board members will reach out to you to arrange for you to be a part of our event planning committee.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Okay, so different ways to get involved
Yeah.
and to support the work that you're doing. Carl, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you guys so much for having us. You guys are incredible hosts, and more importantly, for spreading the message that we need to do everything we can to support our heroes.
Good luck with everything.
Absolutely. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.